Okay, everybody. I'm out here in my cluttered garage to use my Bridgeport. Yeah, I purchased this Bridgeport with the last stimulus check we got. If you know what I'm talking about, stimulus checks, right? I have a small hobby lathe. I would like to have a bigger lathe that's more like industrial quality, but lathes are very expensive. I picked up this Bridgeport here for $900. Uh, Anybody that knows anything about machine shop equipment, everything is three-phase. So the first thing I did was I converted it to single phase. I bought a motor that was, the same RPM and the same shaft size, and I converted it. I have the drum switch, the forward reverse switch on it. And so, yeah, there were a couple of broken things on this machine, small parts that were broken. There were handles missing, like the hand crank to raise the knee. Like this whole thing that the table's mounted on is called a knee, so that goes up and down. There was like a piece broken in the power feed here for the quill. The quill handle was missing, and on this end used to be a power feed that somebody took. Yeah, the power feed, if it worked, was worth at least $600, and I only paid $900 for the whole machine. The biggest problem with this machine was the ram, which goes in and out, and the head can swivel. So you can actually put quite a large piece on this table, and you can swivel the head, you can extend the ram, and you can machine like way out here on a pot. It's a pretty versatile machine, and it's great to have one at your disposal. But anyway, I came out here. I'm gonna make an arbor. You probably can't see this blueprint too much, but I'm gonna make I'm gonna machine a hex on this 1/2-inch aluminum rod that will fit in the wheel. Now I thought I was going to be modifying the back side of the wheel. Well, actually, the front side is where the this hexagon drive is mounted. So this right here is called a collet block. It uses what they call 5C collets. 5C collet is commonly used in most lathes, and it's used in some attachments that can be used for the Bridgeport or other milling machines. So anyway, I don't have that many 5C collets, but I bought this set long before I owned a Bridgeport. It comes with a hexagon collet block and a square collet block. And so, like I said, I had the 1/2-inch rod stock, so that was perfect size. I also have a 1/2-inch collet for my hobby lathe. So what you do is you just put this in the vise and you machine one edge. I know that the width of the hex, I have to make a hex on this that's 205 thousandths wide. So, you just do some simple math, 205 minus a half, and then, you look at the radius and you know how much you have to take off one side. And so this is a precision block, so I can arrive at the dimension I need to take on one side, and then all I have to do is just index this block, and I can theoretically go to the same reading on the dials. This is a manual machine, no digital readout, and so you have to look at the dials. The dial, one complete revolution of the cranks on the table and the cross slide is 200 thousandths of an inch. So if you go 5 cranks, it's a whole inch. But then the dials are numbered from 0 to 200. Well, actually 0 to 199. But and so I'll mill the hex on this, and then I'm going to drill and tap a hole in the middle, so I can screw this out of the arbor, put it in the lathe, and then I can machine. Actually, because it's just one small screw, I'm going to cut most of the excess off of this on a small bandsaw I have, and then I'll put it on the arbor, and I'll turn this and face off, get the backside flush, so it'll fit perfectly into Andy's like the kit wheels for the M8. So that's what I'm out in the garage doing today. Yeah, long video. A lot of explanation about the machine and how I end up having it. But I'm really grateful to have this machine. I don't use it a heck of a lot, but boy, you can do so many things with this machine, especially if I had more attachments than just the vise. Well, I have a vise and I have a boring head in this orange box. So you can bore a hole in something, but you can also, if you take and turn the tool, the cutting tool inward, you can actually cut I could turn this down with a boring head. Now it would take longer than if I put it in the lathe, but you know what I mean. You can turn the tool in and you can actually take material off of this half-inch shaft. I've actually done that. I used that feature when I was modifying the idle wheels, so my 1/6 scale M5 Stewart. You know, because like the idle axles, everything on that was tapered so that the plastic could come out of the mold. So you got a tapered axle, the hole in the wheel is tapered, and it's plastic on plastic. So I drilled out the wheels, and you know, I bored it out to so I could fit a piece of. All I had on hand was like copper pipe that you'd use for a water pipe, had a 1/2 inch copper pipe, right? So I opened up the wheel to fit the copper pipe, and because the idea of that copper pipe, I could like machine the axle so it was a straight diameter, and the copper would be a nice slip fit. So, you know, a boring head is a great tool to have if you have a Bridgeport. So I'll stop talking about machinery, and I'll make the pot, and then I'll show you when it's finished.